My friends, you have seen this incident based on sworn testimony. Can you prove that it didn't happen?
Fancy punks!
Lick my plate!
Training!
There'll be 10 minutes where it's like a Steven Soderbergh Ocean's 11 movie. It's all slick and funny and stuff. Then just the most horrific shit imaginable happens.
It's because that's what the fucking movie's about, you asshole.
This fucking guy.
The Tree of Life is freaking awesome.
I'm sure you think it is.
Faded to black.
Oh, you are fucking this up.
Neon slime.
Gangster movie douchebag, well, forget about it, yeah, forget about
Man,
it.
Cinematique, where I like, I like the sets and I like all that stuff.
What did you say?
Cinematique? I don't know.
Jared Leto, man.
You're the worst, dude. If you ever listen to this, Jared Leto, you are the fucking worst. I'd rather watch that dude, the English dude, who looks like he's not done yet.
This movie is the opposite of getting laid.
Thank you to all our listeners who have been listening to us for over a year now. Subscribe to us on Apple iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and any other platform that has podcasts. Visit our Patreon page, become a Patreon, get more additional content. Again, we appreciate you listening and keep watching those movies. Now, on with the show.
Our entire aim is for the development of our planet.
Same podcast, same guys, new look. Thanks for listening to Tales from the Video Store podcast, sponsored by Golden Ticket Cinemas, The Spot Toys in Newton, Table Rock Creative Group, the pinnacle of video marketing, and Ink Brush Swag, just a cool t-shirt company. Tales from the Video Store, the podcast about the movies you've never heard of, but must see. Now, it's Lee Bridges, Doug Wall, and Garrick Lane, on with the show. Welcome to Tales from the Video Store, number 109. We are knee-deep in 21st century westerns. Speaking of not westerns, Lee, you went to the movies. Was it?
I did.
Was it full?
No, I went to see the Green Knight at Top Full. It was about a quarter full.
Okay. Oh yeah?
For a movie like that, it's pretty cool, especially in Gastonia.
Yeah, sure. I noticed news on Hollywood Reporter that this new strand of COVID has got people putting their masks back on, and now they're saying it hurt the Jungle Cruise, which right. Emily Blunt and The Rock hurt the Jungle Cruise, but whatever. Any excuse you can use.
The script destroyed the Jungle Cruise.
Yeah. Sure. Any kind of excuse you can use, but there is that scare. Theaters are talking about this whole new thing happening, and it hurting what would have been back to big business. You know what I mean?
Right.
Were there any?
I'm not sure that has something to do with it.
Did you go to the same theater that you had gone to prior?
No. We were out and about. We were near Lincolnton, and I looked up showtimes, and the nearest one was Gastonia, so we went there.
Was there any kind of, were there any kind of, I guess, restrictions or anything like that that were different from where you'd gone before? Okay. Cool.
Nothing.
Just curious. I didn't figure so when you said Gastonia.
Yeah, exactly.
I figured
they figured Gastonia and anybody going to see the Green Knight's freaking helpless and hopeless anyway. Gives a shit.
Easy.
Hey, I'm in that audience. I'd love to go see it.
I'm going to go see it.
I didn't get a chance this weekend. I was a little bit busy, but yes, I would love to see that movie.
Yeah.
We will wait to review it. I'm sure that's what you're going to do today. Later on, I'm sure that's going to be part of one of your movies that you've seen.
It will be.
All right, so we'll skip on down. Scarlett J is in a big fight with Disney Plus over money due her. I think she has a good argument.
Disney's argument is that contract was signed pre-COVID, so it shouldn't really apply. But if her contract says if it makes so much in the theaters, she gets a bump. But then it makes that amount. The first weekend it made $60 million on Disney Plus.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So,
and she's been part of all those movies that has made that company billions and billions of dollars. Pay her what she wants, man. Why even drag it out? Like, why even fight? Why? I mean, Disney looks like a total douchebag right now.
And their response, like they were doing the responsible thing, nobody believes Disney gives a shit about people.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, no, legally, I think she's 100% in the right. You know.
Agreed. I agree too. Well, speaking of more, action hero movies, James Gunn's Suicide Squad. What are we thinking? I mean, the last one was horrible.
Horrible, but I mean, this is not a complete reboot. I guess it's a semi-reboot. You know, it has some of the same actors. But I mean, he's like, the fact that they basically let him do whatever he wants, you know.
It's why I'm interested in it. It's the only reason. Because I trust him. I mean, after the Guardians of the Galaxies, man, that I think are pretty fun and not overly marvelly, you know, at least the first one. I mean, I'll watch it. I think it comes on HBO Max Friday. I'm not going to go to the theater and risk death to see it, but I'm definitely going to plan on watching it Friday night.
I'm gonna check it out on HBO Max.
Yeah, and we'll see.
It may be a new strand of suck.
It might.
It may be. Well, it may not be.
Yeah, actually, I think it might be all right. It's R-rated.
It's got Margot Robbie.
It's R-rated.
It's still got Margot Robbie in it.
Yeah.
What does it matter? It's gonna be great.
I think it's got potential, maybe.
Yeah, we shall see. So I've been checking out. There's a little the Monsters Watch, man. Rob Zombie's been putting up a lot of stuff on this movie.
Fucking go. This fucking Rob Zombie fucking acolyte all of a sudden.
Hey, listen, I started watching some of the monster shows, man, on Peacock. I used to love that show when I was a kid. I'm pulling for him to do something really awesome with this. But it's pretty cool. He has like makeup and they found the house, and he's posted up all this cool behind the scenes stuff.
I saw some of it.
It's kind of cool. Like he's,
Yeah.
It's I really hope he does this movie well.
Right. What if he ends up being like a huge director of kids movies? Wouldn't that just be the weirdest thing ever?
Yeah. Or, it'd really suck is if it turned out to be a Rob Zombie movie and, Herman Munster comes in and he's like, and he's raping girls and he's putting on masks and he's fucking, and doing all that shit. And
that would appease his core audience.
Fan of it.
Goddamn Eddie Munster slides down the stairs to fucking Freebird or some shit like that, and I just want to blow my fucking brains out. Oh, yeah, there's always that chance.
Listen, now we have to do it. Now we have to cover it on the episode when it comes out.
We have to.
We have to. It's
100%.
It gets its own. Maybe we could go to the Golden Ticket and watch it like we did Halloween. Yeah. It gets its own show. We shall see, though. Behind the scenes, it looks like he's really staying true to the show. So we shall see. Right.
Yeah, I saw like some of the prosthetics and it's like Herman's like forehead, like I guess the. We'll see.
We shall see. Yeah. We shall see. The prosthetics for Herman's head is much better than the trailer I sent you guys. Some movie that was produced. It was fucking Baby Oopsie.
Oh yeah.
Like, is it? I had to watch that twice to make sure that was real. That somebody had actually invested money and made that movie, and they have.
Right.
That is a trailer for a movie coming out, Baby Oopsie.
I love it.
It is.
And I'm trying. Yep. And I'm sweating freaking.
All practical effects.
Yeah.
It looked amazing.
And I lie awake at fucking night, staring at the ceiling, going, "How am I gonna find money to make a fucking movie? How am I gonna find money to make a movie?" And this asshole,
this poor homely woman, has a YouTube channel where she does stuff with dolls, and somehow she enchants one, and it becomes Baby Oopsie.
Baby Chucky.
Do you know how many producing credits Charles Band has? I just looked it up.
Wait, say that again?
Do you know how many producer credits Charles Band has, the producer of Baby Oopsie?
How many?
Just throw out a number.
1.
315.
Get the fuck out of here.
I shall not get the fuck out of here.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. He is the producer of the Puppet Master movies, the Killer Bong movies.
Oh, that's how it got made.
I mean,
well, who's the director?
I guess he pays for them himself.
Oh, that makes sense. Well, and I'm sure.
I remember the Puppet Master movies when I was a kid, and all those full moon movies. But those were like, those look like actual movies. This looks like, not so much. But like you said, I mean, he's got 315 producer credits.
Well, I can't find the director's name. Baby Oopsie though, and there's a there's like a full moon streaming service, and you go and pay and watch that.
I guess it just goes to that, yeah.
Well, we need to get in on that. Full moon features. Bad Baby, very bad baby is the log line for my baby Oopsie. The producer made Puppet Master. That's crazy. My dear baby Oopsie, drop the knife. Wait a minute, that's Golden Child, isn't it? My dear brother Noopsie. All right, we're moving on. Speaking of bad freaking trailers, freaking Doug sent us one, Lamb.
Right.
Now, I think it's gonna be better than brother Noopsie, baby Oopsie.
Than little baby Oopsie. Maybe. It definitely is up there on the creep factor when you see this small child that has a lamb head.
Right.
And I think the oddest and the most disheartening part about watching the trailer is, are they surmising that his dad fucked one of the sheep and that's where this was made? I couldn't really tell, but that's kind of the way that it made me feel. And I just,
Well, I'll say this.
But you will watch this movie.
I might try and watch this movie. You're right. Maybe.
When we were watching The Green Knight, there was tons of trailers before it. And like 90% of the trailers, Bonnie just said, "Oh, I want to see that." And Lamb came on, but halfway through she just said, "I do not want to see this."
Yeah. It definitely looks uncomfortable.
Yeah, it looks very uncomfortable.
So we'll see.
We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll pop up on Prime or something eventually.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, it's there. It's there for free. It's ready to go. You can rent it for $1.99. It's subtitled. Yep, you can buy it. It's such a shitty movie. You can buy it for $4.99. I wonder if this is the same movie. Maybe not. That was the link though. Yes, rent and buy. Huh. Yeah, that's it. Lamb. Unless this is the wrong movie, I'm watching the wrong trailer. Whatever. Anyway, so we've got Lamb, Baby Oopsie, and wasn't there another shitty trailer to boot?
No. Well, there's tons, I'm sure, but.
Oh, well, I was going to say, what is it with all these animal movies? We got the pig trailer with, Nick Cage.
And everybody is lauding his performance.
And Lamb. Yeah. Well, yeah.
That makes me almost not want to watch it.
Right. Agreed. I agree. I 100% agree. He didn't even have any speaking parts in Willy Wonka's Plastic Factory or whatever the fuck it was.
Right, that's true.
And nobody gave him...
I don't even remember the name of the movie.
Nobody gave him any credit for that. But this one, he loses a pig, gets into some fist fights, like behind some restaurants in fucking San Francisco, and everybody's going nuts over it.
I'll tell you. But
right.
River...
Maybe, actually, I think it's in Portland. I said San Francisco. I think it's Portland.
Rivers rented that last, what was it called? What was the name of that movie?
Baby Oopsie?
No, not Baby Oopsie. The one with Nick Cage in it with the plastic stuff.
Willy's Wonderland?
Yes. And I called him. I sent him a text the next day. I said, "How was it?" He replied. I remember he's 13. He replied, "But it was a piece of shit. Don't watch it, Dad."
I didn't really care for it.
So anyway, Yeah, well, all right. Well, we'll see if Pig's any better.
I did read an interview with Cage. He said that the pig was very aggressive in the movie, like when they were filming. It bit him several times. And he said, I've been lit on fire, and I've been in cars that flipped over in movies, and I'm probably going to die from sepsis from these stupid pig bites.
Well, so
he's like, all the stupid things he's done, he's like, if I die making this pig movie, I'm going to be furious.
So you're saying that he actually didn't blow all the money he made off being in the movie on buying the pig like he's done on Dinosaur Heads and everything else?
I would have eaten the fucking
I think that Nick Cage is gone.
Yeah, that Nick Cage went through bankruptcy 4 times and is finally smartened up a little bit. There you go. Speaking of bankruptcy, let's talk about this week's movie. The good, the bad, and the weird. You want to introduce it there, Lee?
Sure. It's from 2008. It's a Korean Western. Takes place in the early 1930s when Japan has invaded most of mainland Asia, you know. And these 3, 2 criminals and a bounty hunter from Korea now live in northern China. And one of them comes across a treasure map. And basically, it's a giant love letter to Sergio Leone. You know, I mean, it has a very similar plot to The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, obviously. But we're talking about all the practical stuff and, you know, the soon-to-be cult classic Baby Oopsie. This movie, the camera work like when people are flying around on wires and stuff, which in like a Pirates of the Caribbean movie would be all CGI. This is all just guys flying around on ropes with the camera, going behind them.
Yeah.
And I love this movie. It's a pure fun. Not like a lot of Korean movies. It's probably about 20 minutes too long, but that's just something you gotta accept with South Korean movies.
Maybe 45.
I was gonna say that was my.
It's pretty fucking long.
It's an hour too long. But I do appreciate the Sergio. Yes, I do appreciate all the tributes, the Indiana Jones, the practical stunts. But I don't know, man. I got caught, and maybe that's it. Maybe I just went in with the wrong idea on it, and it just didn't do anything for me. I fought. It's funny because I'm gonna be honest. I fought to finish it the first time. And so I actually said, okay, I'm obviously in a shitty mood today and not ready to watch this movie. So I turned it off and I said, well, I'll watch it again tomorrow. And when I went back up, it was off of Hulu. It had gone off of Hulu. And,
oh, really?
Yeah, so then I went to Prime and I'm like, I should probably rent this. And I was like, you know what? I got an hour into it. It's fine. So that's kind of how I feel about it. Like it was.
Okay.
Look, it is fun. It is fun, but I've seen it. I saw it. Project A. Jackie Chan was doing this shit 20 years ago. It's the same thing. It's the same movies.
Yeah, I enjoyed it more than that. I mean, I'm not gonna knock the look of it, the feel of it, the action scenes are spot on. Camera work looks fucking amazing in some scenes, dude.
That's true. Yes.
It's really, really nice. The good guy I did not recognize. I'm sure he's probably a popular actor over in Korea, but I didn't recognize the guy. The bad is Storm Shadow from the G.I. Joe movies, if you remember that. And the weird, I kept looking at him. It's the fucking dad from Parasite.
Oh, totally, yeah.
Oh shit! It is.
Yeah, and it took me a minute. I had to pause the fucking movie and look it up, and I was like, I fucking knew that it was that fucking guy. And he's amazing in it. They're all pretty. I mean, the weird guy and the bad guy, of course, are my favorites. The good guy, it's an odd character to be, I guess, the hero in it because he has the least amount of screen time of any of these guys.
Right.
Yeah.
He has really no story. He just kind of shows up at different parts of the movie.
And he's only really the good guy in this context. If it was a different movie, he was probably the bad guy.
Yeah, correct.
He's just
not a very likable person.
He's a bounty hunter, whatever. A couple of things that also stood out. The scene, like the desert chase scene towards the end, is fucking the shit,
with
dude.
the horses. Yeah.
It's worth watching just to see that, man, because that was fucking cool. How much of it is necessarily believable? Very, very little, but who gives a shit? I just thought it was so well done. I was really impressed with that. So after the movie ended, I was really intrigued to see the budget. And a $10 million budget for that was quite surprising to me. I thought it would be quite a bit more than that. And
Hold on, yeah.
you know, but I mean, honestly, a lot of it looks more like 20 fucking million to me.
Oh yeah.
But thoroughly entertaining.
And I agree with that too. As much as I won't say I did not like the movie. It's just kind of, it's like I felt like I have seen it before. But you're right. For $10 million, what they did for $10 million.
I mean, dude,
these poor stunt guys must have been on interns.
Yeah.
The stunt coordinator, we're talking about the desert chase. The stunt coordinator actually got killed filming the.
Well, there you go. Okay, I'm not shocked because there's a lot of shit going on in that scene. And I thought, my God, because like you say, there is no CGI. It's all practical. There's shit blowing up. You're seeing horses and dudes flying left and right. I'm not shocked at all that somebody died filming that.
What, you said the stunt coordinator died?
I think so. I believe I read that when the film came out. Yeah, it was the same guy. He choreographed the hallway fight in Old Boy.
Oh yeah.
And they were doing some stunt in this, and he was one of the, he was in it, and he ended up not, getting severely injured and passing away.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah, because there's no, stunts here now, they have, there's a stuntman union in America. I'm sure there's nothing like that in most Asian countries. If you're not on camera, you don't get paid.
So
if you're not in the stunt, if you don't work that day, you don't get paid for that day.
Yeah.
But it's weird you mentioned the Indiana Jones a few minutes ago, Garrick. When I remember this came out, I guess, a year after, what's the last one?
Crystal Skull.
Crystal Skull. And I'm in the scene where he's running from the guys in the market, where the guys, he's just, the camera's following him, and it's like they're throwing spears at him, and he jumps on the piece of bamboo and sort of ricochets off of it. I remember thinking that this is the tone that Crystal Skull should have had. A similar, a more fun tone.
More like slapstick.
A very fun movie.
Yeah, more slapstick and hey, we know we're far-fetched, but we're having a fun time with it.
Right.
Not so serious.
I completely agree this movie's too long. But when I'm watching it, I'm just, like I said, just the spectacle of it.
Yeah.
This movie's made for me, basically.
Yeah, there were just a couple of scenes, like the one scene where the Parasite Dad, a.k.a. Weird.
The Parasite Dad.
He goes to that I guess it's like a opium den brothel thing.
Oh yeah, that could all be cut out.
Every bit of that 15, 20 minutes of that had nothing. In the middle of it, I was like, what the fuck are they doing? But I guess,
I completely agree with that.
Yeah, I guess when you're just in it, you're like, oh, well, fuck, let's do this scene. I love this opium dealer character and, like, get some women in there. But it just didn't work, But that was the one scene that stuck out to me that I was like, why the fuck is this in here? Get this out. And it, tightens it up a little bit and probably would have been more palatable to somebody like Garrick, An hour and 45 minutes as opposed to 2 hours.
Ends up getting lost in the desert. There's probably about 3 too many scenes where it just cuts to them for no reason. Mm-hmm. That's a subplot that you could probably lose 90% of.
And you could have definitely trimmed the fat on the last, I think, 15 minutes of the movie. And I've got a question. I've got a question for you. So, who the fuck's on the motorcycle during the credits? Is it Parasite Dad?
I think so. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, the Weird.
Yeah.
So Parasite Dad wins.
The Weird wins, yes.
Okay. Yes, he wins. Because he's, I guess that's the over plot is, everybody thinks
Spoiler alert.
The finger chopper, this legendary bandit.
Yeah.
In reality, he's, the Weird is the most badass of all. He just sort of, his goofiness is sort of a mask,
He was fucking amazing, dude. He was fun as
Yeah,
hell.
like when I guess 10, 15 years ago when they were on Korea, he was like fucking Kaiser Soze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask you that.
What is it with fucking Kaiser Soze? We were talking about, he just said Kaiser Soze. We were talking about we've been writing the script, right?
Kobayashi, Sukiyaki.
And we keep using Kaiser Soze as the friggin' example. There's been a lot of Kaiser Soze talk.
I mean, you know.
It's a cool fucking name.
It's sort of the byword for badass criminal, like a sort of super criminal, you know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Sorry.
Kaiser Soze.
Sorry, he's maybe the best villain that's ever been in anything that never really did anything.
Right.
That's probably true.
It's all just an illusion until it's not. Right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, cool fucking movie, man. Definitely a one-time watch if you've never seen it, and you like fucking action and westerny shit.
Is it Western though? Is it a Western or isn't it an adventure
It's
movie?
a Far Eastern Western.
You think so?
Is what I would say.
I would say it's an adventure movie. I would almost say it's a swashbuckling without the boats.
It is very It does have a very sort of swashbuckly.
Piratey. So it's like
I can definitely see
piratey without the pirates.
Yeah.
It's a shark movie without the sharks.
Yes.
Yes, it's definitely a watch. Just make sure you have a lot of time because it's like I said, it's about an hour too long. But there are some very redeeming parts of this movie that I enjoyed a lot.
Okay.
I mean, come on, it really did pay tribute to a lot of the movies that we grew up with. So. I mean, you gotta love it just for that. Even if the movie was terrible, and I'll probably say the same thing about Baby Oopsie. Probably watch it and be like, "Oh, it reminded me of Chucky." And
you'll probably shit talk it, and then in 2 weeks you'll come back and apologize for it and do what you always do, which is fucking backtrack on your fucking opinion.
You're right. Well,
so we'll revisit this in a couple weeks and see if you still feel the same way.
Hey. They're making movies and I'm not making them, so that's kind of what happens. Is I get on here and I run my freaking trap about shit, and then I go home and I my bipolar personality hashes it out over the mic, and then I sit at home and I go, you know what, that was pretty harsh because that guy made Baby Oopsie and I haven't made shit. I should stop talking shit about him.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is a good movie. You must see. Lee, do you have any other movies like this that are like this from Korea that you are familiar with?
Not like this. I mean,
that was my thing.
I think at the time, it may still be the highest grossing Korean movie ever, as far as like in Korea that they made. You know, I know at the time it was. The movie he made after is actually another movie I watched this week, which is my favorite Kim Jong-un movie, which is I Saw the Devil, which is nothing like this.
No, it is not.
No. But he's just such a, I don't know. It's like what's so weird about him is he seems like he loves it's like Brian De Palma type camera work, but he likes to make it huge like Spielberg, which is very weird. Because he's a huge director in South Korea. He's made one American movie, but it didn't really take off for him. But as far as another movie like this, nothing really comes to mind as far as the scale of it.
Yeah, it's big. It feels big.
Yeah. It's like a Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, without the pirates.
Yeah.
Sans the pirates.
Without Johnny Depp. Yeah. All right. Well, so you watched another. You want to start us off with movies you watched this week? Since you're
I watched. Well, like I just said, I watched from 2010 Kim Jong-un's I Saw the Devil, which is like a serial killer movie where you end up feeling bad for the serial killer. It's just, I mean, it's.
like The Devil's Rejects or Three from Hell.
Sort of. I mean, but it's just the guy gets put through so much stuff.
What the fuck is happening here? Time out. Fuck. Get off your fucking zombie train, dude.
I'm just saying. Well, Rob Zombie did not do that very well.
I need to have a button. I need to have a button that is a recording of Garrick saying, "Fuck you, Rob Zombie,
Hey,
you
listen,
fucking
I didn't
stupid
say
piece
that.
of shit."
Okay, you're right.
So I can hit it every time that you fucking do this.
That's right. You're right. And Rob Zombie, Three from Hell is the exact opposite of Getting Laid, if you guys remember that conversation.
Right.
That movie still does not hold up, and it's terrible. And at the end of it, you really want the Devil's Rejects. He really tries to get you to feel bad for these awful human beings, and it doesn't work. Does this one work?
Yes. I Saw the Devil is the opposite of a Rob Zombie movie. It's well shot. It's well made.
Ooh, I love those backhanded compliments, Lee. Keep them coming, baby.
The things that are flaws in his movie that there are things I like in Rob Zombie movies, but Kim Jong-un is a much slicker director. There are shots in I Saw the Devil, like there's one shot where the camera's spinning around the cars. Basically, the serial killer's just murdering everyone in the car while it's moving, and it just looks, it looks incredible.
Yeah.
And I think it's also streaming right now. It might be on Hulu or Prime. I really like The Good, Bad, the Weird, but I Saw the Devil is my favorite of his movies. It's not. It is very, very violent. It is not. Earlier last year when Bonnie and I both had COVID, she was working from home, and I was, I couldn't go to work because we both had the coronavirus, and she had headphones on, and her computer was in our bedroom, and I just started watching I Saw the Devil and completely forgotten she was there. And there's a scene where the killer's just beating this woman to death with like a pipe. And she just turns around and looks at me and goes, "What the fuck are you watching?" And I just got into it, And I hopefully know that the people she worked for didn't overhear the movie because it's, But, yeah, I love it. It's, I think it's one of the best horror movies of the 21st century.
Very nice.
I'll have to check that one out. I'm writing that one down. All right, well, what else you watch? I know what else you
I went
watch.
to the theater and I saw The Green Knight.
You took, and Bonnie went with you, huh?
She did, and she paid for the tickets, even though I told her that she might not necessarily enjoy it. Because I was like, it's going to be a weird movie. I said, you don't necessarily have to pay. She was like, no, I'm going to pay for the tickets. So, I got the drinks and the popcorn, which ended up being more expensive than the tickets, but that's just how movie theaters are. I really, really liked it. And do you remember the Noah movie that Darren Aronofsky made?
Yes.
I like this as much as I dislike that. Because this movie also takes a familiar story and does something completely different with it, but it works. It's like, parts of it feel like sort of Excalibur on acid, parts of it sort of feel like almost like a David Lynch movie. I think there's going to be a lot of people who are going to go in expecting, like we said, something like Pirates of the Caribbean, something very action movie, and this is not that. Dev Patel plays Sir Gawain, who's the nephew of King Arthur, and on Christmas Day, they're having some sort of Christmas party, and King Arthur's standing up giving a speech, and the Green Knight comes in. He's this man. He's made of trees. Like he's a magical being made of wood. And he basically says he puts forth this challenge that anyone can land a blow on him, that 1 year later he will be able to land a similar blow on them. And Sir Gawain takes the challenge and cuts his head off. And the Green Knight picks up his head, gets back on his horse, and says, "I'll see you in 1 year." And then it flashes forward a year, and it's about the week of him getting to see the Green Knight traveling across England. And I can't really explain what happens because it's so weird, and it's something you should just see.
Yeah.
It's something you should experience.
Right. And, yeah, I really dug it. And Bonnie said she thought it was more interesting than she liked it, but she didn't hate it. We talked about it a lot on the way home for about 30, 40 minutes.
Nice.
I want
And
to see
after
it.
when I got home that night, I watched, which I have not seen since I was a kid, Walking Tall from 1973.
Yes.
I have no idea what possessed me to watch it, but, other than I just hadn't seen it in 20-something years. But aside from the fact that it has maybe the worst fight choreography of any movie I've ever seen in the first half, there's a fight scene and it looks like it just is terrible. It's a bunch of people not throwing punches, But other than that, it really does hold up as far as being just like a early 70s crime film.
Is it better than The Rock's redo?
Oh yeah. It's absolutely.
Well, let me ask you, is The Green Knight something I will like? Knowing me.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh, 100%. I think they'll like that.
Should I eat mushrooms and drop acid before I go do it?
Well, Dev Patel eats mushrooms in the movie, so that's up to you.
There you go. All right. That sounds good. Yeah, I'm excited about that movie. I gotta figure out a night this week I can sneak off and go see it. Yep.
I think I'm gonna try and see it maybe Sunday matinee.
There you go. Well, maybe I can go on Sunday. Oh no, I'm gonna be in the mountains Sunday. Shoot. Oh well. All right. Well, what did you watch, Doug?
Well, I was in that mood after I finished The Good, the Bad, and the Weird. So I searched around and found Sukiyaki Western Django by Takashi Miike. Probably one of my favorite Japanese director. Modern director anyway. And I had seen parts of this before, but I had never watched it from beginning to end. And after watching it, I understand why, because really I had absolutely no idea what was going on throughout. I paused it like 30 minutes in, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck any of this is about, or is supposed to be based on. Maybe it's like based on like something Shakespearean or something. Is kind of how it felt. And but I was still enjoying the hell out of it, so I just kept going. It's like the Reds and the Whites that live in this kind of dilapidated town that are, I guess they're looking for some kind of treasure, right? And,
I think so, yes.
Yeah. And it's got maybe the weirdest fucking intro with Tarantino as this odd cowboy in anything that I maybe have ever seen, and that's saying something. It's so fucking weird, dude. The little intro scene to this is so fucking weird. Sukiyaki is like a popular easy kind of fast dish with like, I don't know, it used to be popular like in the 70s. So it's like, instead of it being like spaghetti western, it's sukiyaki because they're comparable, like something easy noodle dish to make like on a Tuesday night, like spaghetti back in the 70s, And it's just super fucking weird. I really can't say anything about the story because outside of there being two groups and like a stranger shows up and he's kind of playing both the sides, I think, kind of. And then like there's this woman there and a little kid that's like half red and half white.
Yeah.
And then she ends up being like a fucking super badass. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what it was. But
yeah, it doesn't really make a lot. I completely agree.
But I enjoyed the hell out of it. And if you're in that kind, if you're a fan of his movies at least, or if you kind of like that phrase I use, like this kind of Far East westerns, this is one to check out just simply because of the way it looks. And there's some amazing scenes in it. And there's a fucking Gatling gun in it that I think is the biggest I've ever seen in a movie. And that's really, it's not long. It's like 90 minutes. It's like it went quick. It was just really fucking odd. But it looks great, man. He's got such
What's that on?
I have no idea. I searched around for it. I don't remember exactly what it was on. And then I watched two not so goods that we'll get through relatively quick.
The not so goods always go much faster.
Yeah, so I got conned into watching Jolt. Kate Beckinsale's.
Oh, I love her though. God, yummy.
She's a genetic freak that needs shock treatment to restrain her violent impulses.
Oh, sounds like me.
And it's got some wittiness to it. It's got a fair amount of violence in it that's pretty good. The fight scenes and stuff with her in it look amazing because she's been trained, I guess, from her Underworld movies, to be a fucking badass. I definitely wouldn't want to. Well, I would want to put my hands on her, but not that way.
Not while she's doing while she's having one of her bipolar moments.
Look, it's not great, but at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter because she is so fucking hot in this. I don't think I've ever seen her with blonde hair, and it is captivating.
She looks better than she looks in the Underworld movies?
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever made it through like one of the Underworld movies. I'm pretty sure I don't think I've ever seen any of them.
I'll say that she looks better in this than she does in the Underworld trailers. That's
yeah, maybe. But it is what it is.
It's just is it directed by her husband?
Tanya Wexler.
Oh, okay. So this isn't that collaboration like Underworld that was her husband and her for so long.
And it's look. If you're a fan of hers, then you'll probably like it. If you're not, then you may not.
Do you get ample boobage?
No, unfortunately, but there are a couple of suggestive scenes.
Nice moments.
That help me get to the end. We'll just say that. And then
nice moments that make me thankful I watched it by myself.
So you sometimes will run across a movie that maybe you didn't, you never had heard of.
Yeah.
And you look at the cast and you're like, well, of course this is going to be amazing. And it's an utter fucking disaster. This is what I got conned into watching after I watched Jolt. The Grand from 2007. It is a mockumentary, like Best in Show, but minus the brilliance of Christopher Guest. The ensemble cast includes Woody Harrelson, Cheryl Hines, David Cross, Dennis Farina, Chris Parnell. Werner Herzog is in it for a little bit as the German. Of course he is, because he's so fucking weird in it.
Yeah, of course.
Michael McKean is in it. A lot of the same players from Christopher Guest's work.
This isn't Christopher Guest.
No, directed by some dude named Zach Penn.
What happened to that guy? What happened to Christopher Guest?
I don't know. It's about pro gamblers, like pro Texas Hold'em gamblers. This movie came out in 2007. So I thought, you know what, of course it's going to be good. Man. I don't know how you do this. I don't know how because you can tell that fucking 90% of it is improv on the spot. But it's just not funny. It's just not funny. I don't know what else to say. Like,
is it a new movie? I've never heard of it.
2007. I'd never heard of it either, and for good reason. Because it isn't, like, it has a couple moments, but it is an absolute failure when you have that kind of talent on your cast, and that is the end product. It's an absolute fucking disgrace. And like I say, there are a couple of funny moments in it, but all in all, man, it was a struggle to get to the end big time.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember when it came out, but I've never seen it.
Well, don't. I mean, unless you just want to like put something on to fall asleep by, because that's what I wanted to do while watching it.
Yeah.
And that's what I watched.
The Grand.
Yeah. Disappointing.
Okay.
Sukiyaki Western Django was shit.
Well, I'll start with the best of the best.
All right.
And we won't get too much into this because I think that Lee touched on it, but I started watching Ted Lasso. And it is by far the best series on television right now. It's that good. Do you enjoy it as much as I do, correctly?
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I mean it is cute.
It is. It's weird. It's a very feel good show.
It really is. Like
and most of the time that's not my thing.
Which is it that he doesn't like? Is it cute or sweet? I can't remember.
I think it's sweet he doesn't like, but it's both of these.
Okay, so this one is definitely more cute.
It's cute and sweet.
Okay.
It's
right.
Listen, I'm the guy who's like, when, people talk about feel-good movies, I tell them, if you want to feel good, go get a fucking foot rub, But, but here's the thing, it's never insincere. It's very sincere in its feel-goodness.
I can't place one. Yeah. Well, it's basically about a football coach who is hired by... So basically, a rich mogul who owns a bunch of stuff, including a soccer team. They split up and divorce, and the wife ends up with the soccer team. So instead of trying to make the soccer, because her husband her cheating husband loves the soccer team so much, her plan is to completely put it into the shitter by hiring this guy from Kansas, this football coach, Ted Lasso, to come over and do this, and he's never done it, and it's crazy.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The premise sounds fucking it sounds like something I could never fucking sit through.
Listen, you've seen this. We've seen this storyline a gazillion times, and this
Major League.
Huh?
It has the same plot as Major League.
Yeah,
it is Major League,
but it's so good.
In Major League, she's trying to move the team. She's trying to put the team to fail so she can move it. This, she just wants to destroy it.
But Ted Lasso is such a lovable dude that he kind of shows up and, hey, just kind of dances, and he's just like this. And I hate to spoil this. The only thing, and I haven't gotten all the way through it, so I don't know if they explain it, but they don't. But he's splitting up with his wife. And he's just got this electric way about him. Everybody loves him, and he really is like this great guy who just won't fail, you know what I mean? And people are like walking on him, and he's like, well, I forgive you. And all this stuff. But he is getting a divorce. Yeah. And they haven't explained what happened there. And they may never explain it. It may just be, because I did remember the conversation with his wife when she was getting ready to leave, and she's like, I wish that I felt the same as I used to. I just don't. I don't know if they explain what happened between them because Ted just seems like such a lovable dude.
And it's all about, the show's all about Jason Sudeikis. I mean, he's,
And I love the guy.
He is, granted, he created the show, but if they cast anyone else, it would not work.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, it's great.
Every single person that I've talked to that I know that likes the same kind of shit that I do or whatever, I've not heard a negative review.
It's great. It's anybody. 30 minutes. It's the 30 minutes. It is what it is. It's like you said. It's very sincere, and even though you're like, there's really not any peril. There's really no big.
No.
It's just, I don't know. It's good. It's At the end of every show, I'm like, man, that was great. Second is another short form. Kevin Smith has redesigned Masters of the Universe, the animated series for Netflix. He's caught a lot of flack from all us Masters of the Universe heads who had owned every action figure and watched every show, but I think it's fantastic. And Kevin Smith should keep doing what he's doing. There's been a lot of flack. I don't know if you guys have seen that. There's been a lot of flack about how he's handled the story, and I think it's great.
Right. I've not watched the show yet, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The animation looks great. They continue the story. At the end of the first show, some crazy stuff happens that kind of carries on the show and brings some new people in, and Man, you know what? Just let him do his thing. I don't know why everybody's so mad. He brought all the Merman and Trapjaw and everybody back. It's fantastic. There's only like 6 episodes, 7 episodes at 25 minutes apiece. You should check it out. If you are a Masters of the Universe fan, you must check it out. It's worth it.
I'll check it out.
It's worth the show. And then my last one is, more on my kick of watching, I'm telling you, my Shudder has been on 24/7 these days. I watched a shit bomb called Rot, directed and written by Andrew Merrill, who was probably in on Baby Oopsie at some point. He's only got 4 directorial credits, and Rot may be one of the worst movies I've ever seen. In fact, it's so bad that at the end, a zombie penis gets hard. And
what is going on with you in these?
I don't know, dude.
Penis movies.
I'm telling you,
this is 2 weeks in a row. What are you doing?
2 weeks in a row. This one, he walks out of the shadows.
One you had, it was like a chunky explosion.
The balls explode.
And now a fucking erect.
I'm telling you, it's this.
What are you doing?
It looked. You know what it looked like? It looked like Psycho Gorman. In penis form. But anyways, it's terrible. This movie looks like, Doug, this looks like I shot it with you guys in our senior year. Yeah. Hey, party. Oh, the zombie effect actually happens through a kiss, and the movie starts with this at the nursing home where this old lady puts her mouth on another old lady and passes this quote rot. By the end of this piece of shit, the main character, the main boy, is trying to make the protagonist his queen by inserting his rot zombie cock into her and making rot zombie babies. I'm not sure how movies like
Did you just Freudian slip Rob Zombie, or did you say Rock Zombie? I'm sorry.
Rot.
Okay.
The name of the movie is Rot.
Oh, okay. What did you watch this on?
Never
mind. I know exactly where you fucking watched it.
Yeah.
That's why I don't have the channel anymore.
Yes, it's I don't know where these people are getting this money. It stars a bunch of no names, which is great.
We really need to get on their call list.
Johnny Costry. He's been in a bunch of TV. He's been on Homeland. I think it's a bunch of extras, but they managed. They managed to make this movie. I would love to see what the budget was. It doesn't show. I mean, it's so bad it doesn't show.
Probably negative dollars.
But the log line for this movie is a grad student breaks up with her boyfriend to focus on her thesis, not realizing something has infected him and that he's going to wreak havoc on her life. It was definitely not that serious. And it had a rot hard penis. And it actually showed it getting hard. And it was out of nowhere. And it's an abomination.
Did they use like a bicycle pump? Was like
I don't know, but it even had a sound effect. It was like and then she walked up to it, and there was actual shot where she grabbed it and stroked it a minute. And I'm like, are they trying to tease us? Is she going to give it to him? And then she cuts it off, and it kills him.
Amazing. That sounds.
And I'll continue to stay up at night wondering why I can't make a movie. That's all I watched this week. Hey, we did miss something on news, though. Back to people that actually deserve to make movies. The Coen Brothers.
Right.
Ethan doesn't want to make movies anymore.
Apparently. Because Joel, his first solo directorial is, I think it's The Tragedy of Hamlet, comes out the end of this year.
Starring Denzel and who else?
With Denzel.
But I mean, when you have a body of work like Ethan's, it's kind of like Quentin. Do you really have to do anything else?
He wants to do.
He's probably 60. He's probably 65 years old. He's probably got 10 years left. He wants to write a couple of plays. He wants to do something else. I get it.
Good for him.
Yeah.
I'd like to see more people go do other shit, and then maybe at an earlier age, and then come back to movie making if you want to, kind of like Freakin'. just
Right.
kind of go away, and kind of live your life doing whatever the fuck makes you happy, and then come back and do, something else.
Yeah.
So good on him.
Yep. So there you go.
I have some more news
Oh, yeah?
too. Well, it's sad news, I think. So when you were talking about Ted Lasso, you said that it was the best show on TV, and I guess maybe it is now, even though I've not seen it, because the best show that was on TV is no longer as Mr. In-Between.
Yeah.
Came to an end.
Has it been canceled, or was the end of season 3 the end
There
of
was
season
no
3?
there was no canceling. Scott Ryan, the creator and the lead character actor, just basically was like, we could go on doing this, but there's other shit I want to do. And he's like, because I'm writing it and because I'm playing the main character, he's like, it's all encompassing.
Oh, yeah. No,
It's like I can't fucking do anything else.
Can't
He's
do
like,
anything
I've
else.
got some other stories and some other shit
I
I'm
feel you.
trying to work on. So the character Ray Shoesmith, who Scott Ryan played, might be my favorite. Man, he is absolutely in the top 3 favorite characters in anything that I've ever seen. I fucking love him so much, and I will miss that character so much. And Joel Edgerton's brother Nash was the director of this whole thing and helped him create it. And it is fucking glorious. Anybody who's never seen it, I highly recommend it. Look, it kind of ends with a bit of a whimper in comparison with how the show really was. But also, it's kind of smooth how it's done, and I'm at peace with it, I suppose. But
Yeah.
Lee, did
Hey,
you?
you got 3 seasons.
Yeah, did you finish
I've not
it?
seen the final episode yet.
Okay, well, all right. Well, get back to me when you have, because I'll be interested to see what you think of how they ended it.
Will do.
Because I like looked down and immediately my immediate reaction was, what? And then like 30 seconds later I was like, okay, I get it. And it got lauded for it. A lot of people liked it. More people I think loved it than didn't. So, but man, season 2 of that show is fucking the shit, dude. I would definitely go back and revisit that many more times.
I really need to put that on the list, man.
It is. It's the best thing that you've never seen, Garrick. I can tell you that right now.
I will check it out.
All right.
Just think of it. You can watch 4 episodes to one rot.
Yeah, because they're half-hour episodes. I think the ones in the final season were hour-long episodes, so they came out on right at 40-some minutes. But
Yeah.
well worth it. Good shit.
There you go. Well, that's it for this week. Next week, Robert Duvall, Annette Bening, and Kevin Costner in Open Range.
We are doing Open Range.
We're doing Open Range.
God damn it, you're back.
And we will discuss in depth another series that died way too early, Deadwood. We have not discussed it until I finally finished it all, including the movie. So maybe we can discuss a little in depth Deadwood.
Oh,
We all love that.
it's the shit, dude.
Yeah. What about? Is it better than Mr. In-Between?
They're completely different. Here's the only way that they're similar. There's 2 characters in Mr. In-Between that I fucking love, and there's 2 characters in Deadwood that I absolutely fucking love. For completely different reasons, but like when I think of those shows, and we'll always think of those shows, I think about 2 people.
There you go. Well, that's all coming up next week. Thanks for listening.